So the release of Modern Warfare 3 is right around the corner, and let's be honest, there's a lot of hype behind the next Call of Duty title. But is it actually good? Hey, what is up everybody, it's your boy KingK, and today I'm going to be providing my thoughts and opinions on MW3 in order to help you find out whether or not the game is actually worth it. Now please keep in mind that again, these are my thoughts and opinions. I'm just a dude who has been playing Call of Duty for the last 11 years, so you're free to have your own opinion. To start things off though, let's address the biggest question right away. Is Modern Warfare 3 worth the $70 price tag? Well, considering the fact that we can only judge the game by released information, leaks, provided gameplay, and of course the beta. You know, a beta, a public player test which lacks majority of the full game content, used by developers to find bugs and various other things they may need to address, then no, it's not worth the $70. Am I saying that the game is bad? No, absolutely not. The beta alone was way better than the MW2 beta, and a lot of other things were also vast improvements on MW2 as a whole. But $70? I mean, paying more than $60 for a game is already stupid. We could all agree on this as gamers, but that's honestly another discussion on its own. If I had to put a price tag on MW3 though, considering how much more content still needs to be added, then maybe $40 to $50. But why do I say this? Well, let's take a dive into all the bad, shall we? Starting off with the beta, there were tons of issues. Server crashes aside, and the atrocious login system we were provided, in which you had to load up Call of Duty just to reload into the beta. The game didn't run very smooth whatsoever at times, and would often crash. Now this could be driver issues, but then again, it was happening on consoles as well. Furthermore, packet burst is still an issue, causing spikes in ping and drops in FPS. It became a relevant problem all the way back in Call of Duty Vanguard, plagued me and many other people throughout the entire life cycle of MW2, and now it's back yet again. Granted, not nearly as bad, but bad nonetheless. Hit markers, garbage visibility, and terrible sound design. Let me not even get started on the footstep audio. My word. I found myself shooting at my teammates more than my enemies, and when I did actually end up shooting at an enemy, they were all bullet sponges. One thing that was made clear in Call of Duty Next was the increased health pool, going from 100 to 150 in order to make, and I quote, weapon balancing easier and make, and I quote, weapons more consistent. But all I found was inconsistency and terrible TTK. The menu system was also as bad as ever, literally a copy and paste of MW2, but somehow worse. Spawns were, well, let's just say spawns were a joke. You can watch your teammates spawn alongside you, and no more than a second later, you get enemies spawning right behind you. Like, I'm not a developer, let's be real. But I do know that spawns have set points, which work alongside an algorithm based on player locations, so it can't really be that difficult, right? Then again, they couldn't figure out how to make a working play of the game for years, so I'm not really surprised. Matter of fact, they actually just completely gave up on that halfway through MW2. The heads-up display would randomly just disappear. The new stun utility system doesn't work well for gameplay and doesn't fit into Call of Duty whatsoever. Everything lacks color, as usual. The gunsmith is even more confusing somehow, and I'll say it again, I don't really care what anyone has to say about it, the map selection for this game is lazy. Like, I played Estate once and never again. Good news, campers, y'all got a fucking safe haven now. I could go on, trust me, I got a whole list, but I don't want to make this an hour-long video. So what about outside of the beta itself? Well, we can't judge the campaign. If it's anything like MW 2019 or MW2, then it's probably going to be good. Then again, we play the campaign once, if at all, and then go straight to multiplayer, Warzone, or zombies. So let's jump into those topics, shall we? Now, I've already covered multiplayer by speaking about the beta, and Warzone is, well, Warzone. I don't know what to really say about it. A wasted development, something I refuse to play, outdated. Let's just leave it where it belongs. In the past. As for zombies though, until I get the chance to play it myself, it looks like a major L for the zombies community. Like, I personally do not care that it's a continuation of the events that occurred in Black Ops Cold War, and it's sort of the merging point now between Modern Warfare and the Black Ops universes. Developers, you guys can be honest with us as a community. DMZ was a failure, and you all didn't know what else to add as a third game mode. If I'm playing zombies, then I want to play zombies. I don't want to track across a Warzone sized map, and I absolutely do not want to get shot at by random bots, because we all know how well that was incorporated into DMZ, aka a fucking mess. Like, zombies is zombies, and it's always been a great mode and concept. Don't ruin this for us as well, or better yet, make it worse. Sorry zombies fans, you'll have had a rough last couple of years. Okay, enough negativity, let's get into the positives, even though the list is, well, a lot shorter. First things first, map voting is back. They finally figured out a good way to implement it. You still do not remain within the same lobby, but upon joining a fresh lobby, you are able to vote for maps, which honestly is simply incredible. Overall gameplay, movement, and mechanics is a vast improvement. The game feels more arcadey and fast-paced. Gun mechanics are smoother and faster as well. Slide cancelling is back, although not as effective as MW 2019, but still way better than MW2. The inclusion of the dive-in mechanic, something that I've personally never enjoyed, actually feels like it belongs in this game, although it behaves the same as MW2, but that's actually a good thing, as it means less exploits and BS deaths. Also, drop shotting is better in MW3, and although not as effective either, reload cancelling is back, which I mean, thank fuck for that. I still find myself trying to reload cancel in MW2 after doing it for years and getting myself killed as a result. I mean, I consider it to be a skillful mechanic, so why it was removed in the first place beats me. I would mention the whole having to wait for your perks to load system from MW2 being removed, but obviously you don't have perks in MW3. You now have gear. Some people may not agree with me on this, and although I didn't mess around with it too much during the beta, I actually think the concept is pretty good. It's more restrictive and challenging, making you have to think about what to equip, rather than just slapping on a perk and running with it. You also can't freely equip all of the OP stuff. Like, you can't run EOD and TAC mask at the same time. At least not from what I saw. And if you can, you have to use a specific vest, which will make it more difficult to build the rest of your loadout. I can of course see issues arising with the system, like the devs need to be really careful about not making it too restrictive. And I can also see it taking up a lot of time to build classes, which of course takes away more time from actually playing the game. But I can see the benefits of using this system. I personally don't really care about it too much. Outside of S&D, I'll likely just equip everything that boosts my movement speed and overall gameplay pace, and forget about the rest. The game as a whole also just feels more fluent. Like, if you bought this game expecting it to feel like MW 2019, you'll sorely be mistaken. If I had to say, it feels more like a baby between Vanguard and MW2. As much as I dislike Vanguard, I have to admit that the pacing and overall combat feel was amazing. MW3 is sort of like that, but a bit slower, incorporating more mechanics from MW2. Oh, and of course, I cannot forget to mention the return of the classic minimap. I can't really say it's a vast improvement or anything new though. Matter of fact, it's something that should have never been removed from Call of Duty in the first place. And as I'm sitting here recording this video, I'm trying to rack my brain about more positives, but honestly, I can't think of any right now. This isn't like a completely revamped Call of Duty title. It's a copy and paste of Modern Warfare 2 through and through, with a couple of new things and a bunch of minor changes and improvements. A lot of it feels lazy, and a lot of it also feels way better. I personally see it as an improvement, but I also see a lot of bad things that can ultimately cause the game to fail. At the end of the day, the decision is ultimately yours. Being a COD fanatic, I'll naturally grind the hell out of the game, whether I'm having fun or not. The bigger question for me is whether or not the game is going to keep me wanting to grind, unlike Vanguard, Cold War, and Modern Warfare 2, or is it going to make me simply uninstall once I feel the game no longer has anything to offer or is no longer bearable. Again, these are just my thoughts and opinions. You're free to have your own, and you're welcome to leave them down below in the comment section as well. That's gonna be all for today though. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, or at least found it to be somewhat insightful. Until next time though, it's been your boy KingK. Much love. Peace.